Hello, and thank you so much for joining us for the Festival of Cinema NYC virtual filmmaker interviews. I am Stephen S. Miller, Cabaret Star, and I'm being joined by my fabulous co-host, Bonnie Rose, star of film and television. Today, we are so thankful to have Susanna Wolk, director, and Madia Hill-Scott, the writer and co-star of the film A New Chapter, which will be playing on Thursday, October 1st at 7 p.m. Welcome to the show.
Yay, thank you for having us.
We're
You
really happy.
This is brilliant, you guys.
Thank you. We're so happy you can join us on this interview with Festival of Cinema today. So let's get right into it. Tell us a little bit about A New Chapter.
Absolutely. I'll start and then you want to dive in, Susanna?
Love it.
I wrote and produced this film. It's very much based on my own personal relationship with my mother. So this is very much a mother-daughter story. It's a story about reconciliation. It's a story about a mother letting go, recognizing her adult child is an adult. It's a story about rebirth and a new baby and a new child and what that means and represents to a family. Susanna, do you want to add anything?
I think that was a beautiful summary of the spirit of it. I think it's about these two women just coming to terms with, a daughter growing up and being a human being and not being a child anymore. And in fact, now having her own child, and a mother who is having trouble letting go of the past. And the two of them come to a head in a really intense way. What I love about what Madia wrote is she wrote these really complicated, complex women that sort of jump off of, at least for me, jumped off of the page, and kind of in the short film format gave us like a little slice of life that's super raw and vulnerable, and you really get to know these two women and their relationship very deeply in a short period of time.
Absolutely. What really I wanted to come across too was how there's two ways that you can love. You can love through, positivity, or you can love through fear, and that's very much what the mom, who's played by Deborah Lauren Thomas, who is like just this amazing actress, and we were so lucky to have her. But she loves through fear, and it comes through in these really like sort of like toxic ways in her relationship with her daughter, and it's her coming to terms with that, and hopefully by the end of the film you leave with this sense of hope, not only like in their relationship, but what it means to have this new grandchild or child for this postpartum mom, which is also another theme that we have explored in it, is this new mom, exhausted, living in New York City, and sort of like what that means in terms of her dealing with having a baby, in terms of dealing with her own mom, who is overbearing, to say the least.
Well, it was absolutely very realistic. And I'd like to know, how long did it take you to shoot this?
We had a really quick pages in 8 hours. It was a very minimal crew. We had, our DP, a sound person, a first AC, and like that was pretty much it. And then Susanna, who beautiful job directing us. Do you want to talk about the rehearsal process?
Yeah, I would love to. I think what was really great is that Madia and Deborah and myself just did a huge amount of rehearsing of the scenes leading up to the day of shooting, because we knew we were only going to have sort of a limited time on set, and it was also sort of all revolved a little bit around like the baby, and we could only have the baby for like an hour. So we just wanted to be really, really prepared going into it. And I think the scenes that Madia wrote are so meaty and juicy and have so much going on in them that like the three of us spent a lot of time prior to our filming day just unpacking them and rehearsing them, blocking them, making a lot of choices in advance, so that by the time we got on set, they were sort of, I felt like really primed to just be there. They knew what place, what they had to do to get themselves to the place that they needed to be. And they had like a really strong sense of the characters going into it. And that made the 8 hours of shooting go by so wonderfully and brilliantly, because the two of them were just so like on fire from the start.
Well, that's certainly a luxury for a short film to have so much rehearsal time in that, only that you had 8 hours to shoot it. So that's really inspirational to hear. How did you go about getting the funding for this particular film? And what was the inspiration to getting it done now? Because it's such a vital, I don't want to say topic, but it's really very vital in these times right now.
Absolutely. Well, it's all self-funded. And as an actress, I haven't had the chance to really explore a mother-daughter relationship. Like the roles that I tend to play are like, lawyer, sister, or just not being able to like dive into like mother-daughter relationships, and also not being able to like have a child. And so I was really excited to explore both of those relationships. So it was just an investment that I, in a personal passion project. So I invested in myself and self-funded it through hard work. And also too, it's just, even as an adult, it's just like, Susanna and I have talked about this several times. It's like, when you talk to your parents, you just immediately are triggered sometimes, and you go back to your 15-year-old self. And it's I think that's something that is very relatable, that every person can relate to, and especially in these times that are very triggering, to have a film like this that's so raw and intimate, and this slice of life. We just, we wanted our audience to go along that journey with us, that emotional journey that I think so many people do.
Susanna, do you have something to add?
No, I totally echo everything Madia just put so brilliantly. Like, I think, we shot this, over a year ago. And I think like now that we're in a sort of COVID time, feels like it's taken on more relevance, even that now that people are sort of living in quote close quarters with their parents and stuck inside these tiny apartments raising children. And I have so many friends who have moved back home or are kind of, obviously we've all taken indoors and are in sort of a pressure cooker environment, kind of similar to what the characters in the film are experiencing. And like, just thinking about it now, I find that like it feels sort of relevant in that sense. And like, when Madia brought this to me, I was just so like blown away by the like force of these characters and the scene work, and her passion for it was really infectious. And I think just she put so much hard work and sweat into this, and it really shows, I think.
Well, we were lucky to have you too. And just on like, I know, we probably have to end soon, but just on a final note, the film is called A New Chapter, because even though these two characters come to a head, it's what is the hope? What is the possibility after that? Like, what is the light at the end of the tunnel? And I think that's something that we can all, sort of carry away with us after watching it.
Well, absolutely, and that resonates loud and clear. So on that note, how excited are you to see your film, 5 feet story high, at a drive-in in Queens?
I mean, who would have thought in a pandemic, right? Like, I mean, just being able to see your work on the big screen is just a huge honor. As a thespian, it's like, you work so hard, and sometimes these moments just take a while to happen. And I wasn't expecting this to happen during the pandemic. And so it is a huge honor. And we are like so grateful that you guys chose us. And thank you for just honoring us filmmakers and putting forth the effort. Because I know to get that approved and permits and coordinating, I know the work that it probably took. So we are so thankful.
And just to have an opportunity to like gather collectively, like even in a distanced way, just feels like so rare and special. And to like, I think so much of what art is the collective experience of it all, and that's what we've been missing so much in this pandemic. So it's really thrilling that that you guys have made the effort to create that experience, and yeah, I'm just over the moon about it.
Yay! Thank you, and back to you, Stephen, now.
Oh, ladies, thank you so much for joining us today, and we're so excited to see your film on the big screen, Five Stories High.
Amazing.
But thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck with the film and your future endeavors. You have a very bright future ahead.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate it.
And I also want to thank my fabulous co-host, Bonnie Rose. And until next time, we look forward to seeing you soon.
See you at the drive-in.